Hi, this is Hank.
Hi, Hank. It's Barb. How are you?
How are you? Pretty good.
Doing well. Let's see who else we have here.
Hi, my name is Darlene Ference.
Hi, Darlene. Darlene, would you mind spelling your last name?
F as in Frank, E-R-E-N-C-E.
Okay, thank you. And Julie Atwell, I see you on there. I see Hank. 104. I see Jay is on there. And Dick.
And I'm here too.
John.
John.
Hello, sir. John, what phone number are you calling from? Last four of the number.
4365.
Okay, perfect. Thanks. All right. All right, so Julie, I'm going to take you off mute. And Dick off mute. All right. Hi, Dick. I just took you off mute. Sorry about that.
Well, you could leave me on, I guess.
And then Lycan, I see you're on as well.
All right. Well, is everybody set to go?
I think so.
I am.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'll call the meeting to order. Selectmen's meeting for May 26, 2020. It's an audio meeting. And the first thing is the call to order. Oh, yeah, I did that. Approve the minutes. Has everyone had a chance to approve the minutes or to peruse the minutes of the May 12th meeting?
I have.
Yeah. Sounds good
Well,
to
then
me.
we should.
I will make a motion to approve the minutes from the May 12th meeting.
And I will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. Okay, the next item is our scrap metal agreement for the transfer station. John, are you prepared to speak of that, to that a little bit?
Well, it's a usual contract that we have. We've always had a discussion when it comes about for renewal. Recently, I haven't had any complaints or comments in a negative on that. So, again, I'm fully on board to supporting it for another year.
And that's Roger Labby.
Correct.
And we get a small amount from him for his salvaging.
Yes, I don't have the contract in front of me, but I can't remember what the dollar amount was. But yeah, we do.
No, but we get a little something for it, and he goes in and scraps out what he can.
Correct.
And we looked at this last year as well, but really didn't come to any other alternatives or agreements that were sort of a better deal than this, right?
I don't think we could find a better deal.
Yeah. And
yeah, again, it was just there were some issues before about the timing and usage of and bothering the people that work there, I guess. But again, that seems to be smoothed over quite a bit. So like I said, I haven't heard anything negative about Roger and his collection. So again, it's money in our pocket one way or the other.
Yep. And I pulled up the agreement. It's $1,250.
Thank you. I thought it was around 1,500. I wasn't sure.
Yep. So that sounds good.
All right. Well, it sounds like we should approve that agreement.
I'll make a motion to approve that agreement then.
And I will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Sounds unanimous.
Mhm.
Okay, our next is the short-term rental conditional use permit application. Have you guys had a chance to look it over?
I have.
Yep.
Any problems?
I don't have any concerns. Has it been vetted at all by council, or does it need to be? That would be only my concern.
Yeah, Peter was actually the one who spent most of the time putting this together, I believe, so.
Okay.
Sorry, I have a horrible echo on my phone. I'm not sure what's going on, but, Julie, did you have anything else on that? Peter was the one that put it
Yes,
together,
that's
right?
correct. Peter did put it together.
Yeah,
Okay, to me,
the put it together. Peter vetted it pretty well. I mean, he's the one who's going to have to represent us as it goes forward if there's disputes. So I think it's in pretty good form. So if we go ahead with it, I'd like to do it in two parts. One is to approve it as written, and the other is to accept it. No, it sounds redundant. I believe that is the process.
sounds good to me. I'll make a motion to approve
To
it.
approve first.
Alrighty.
And I will second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous. We should accept those words.
And I'll make a motion to accept this.
All right, I will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. That also is unanimous.
I think we're kind of
And then we
trendsetters
have
here.
a,
This is very forward thinking that we actually are doing something formal.
well, we better do it right because it may come back and. So the next thing is a request to the trustees of the funds, which I will read. Your trustees, the Board of Selectmen, are requesting the following withdrawal from the trust funds as $3,490.56 from the Bridge Repair Expendable Trust 0034. That will cover invoice 641527 dated April 23rd, 2020, White Mountain Lumber Company. Make the check to the town of Jackson for the amount requested above. Respectfully, Rich Bennett, Chair. I think we have a vote on that request.
I'll make a motion to vote on that request, or make a motion to accept that request.
And I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 I just want to ask if everyone, I show everyone is muted on this end, but we're having a lot of feedback. So can you all just make sure that if you're attending the meeting that your phone is muted? Except for Dick and John. Thank you.
You know what? It may have been me.
I had it on speaker. It might have been me too.
Oh, it does
Okay.
sound much better now. Thank you.
Well, if we all work together, this is a pretty good way to have meetings.
We get a lot
We ought to get-
accomplished.
Yeah. It really works. The next item, oh yes, is we would like to thank the people who volunteer their time to help keep our town running. There's an amazing amount of work done by volunteers. Margie Furlong from the Old Library Management Committee, Frank Benish from the ZBA, and Bill Terry from the Conservation Commission are all stepping down. And we'd like to thank them for all the time and effort they've put into helping us keep this town running. Bill is still chair of the planning board, so we're not going to lose him completely. And I would entertain a motion to accept that statement.
I'll make a motion.
I will make that motion.
Go ahead. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Boy, this whole thing is much quieter now without me. I really think I was causing that with a speakerphone.
It could have been me too, though.
Now we have the fifth item is from our emergency management director.
Hi,
Emily, are you there?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Good afternoon.
Hi. So I sent out an update, or Julie sent out an update to you all regarding what's been going on over the past couple weeks. Apologize for it being sent out so late. But I think just sort of a brief overview. We are continuing to just attend to the weekly calls with the state emergency operations center staff. I don't know, do you have that update in front of you?
Mm-hmm.
If anything came up, I think one of the interesting things is how all the different business sectors are slowly reopening. So Jay and Kevin have been fielding a lot of questions about that from restaurants and other businesses, making sure that that's done according to the guidelines. I did put the link that they have for different resources that are available to answer questions for different business sectors in there. I guess the July 4th fireworks is being talked about. I think Lycan's on the call. Lycan, did you want to add anything regarding the
Hold on. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Thanks, Barbara.
Mhm.
The library hasn't really talked much about reopening our building. The Board of Trustees have a meeting on June 2nd. And the Board of Trustees have also been working on a pandemic policy that is designed to help guide our decisions both from now on and for any future events that are similar to this. I do want to share with you that as part of the Federal CARES Act, there was money earmarked for library and nonprofit support. In New Hampshire, it is administered by the New Hampshire Humanities, and I applied for and won $10,000 for the library. It's for two things: to recover any lost revenue, which we have lost quite a lot from people not coming in and printing things and buying used books and that kind of thing. Basically equivalent to our book budget. So it'll help us to recover some of that, and also help me to develop remote services. I'm really working hard to develop services to duplicate as much as I can everything that people can get in the library. So right now I'm working on outdoor seating for the patio and maybe like a screened area on the lawn so that people can sit and use the Wi-Fi outside. So it'll pay for those things. But I'm really proud that we our work was recognized by New Hampshire Humanities to invest that heavily. Nobody else in the Valley got that much. So
That's fantastic.
Well
That's
done.
exciting.
Yeah.
we're really excited. And then I'm going to continue to work with Emily, and please, everybody reach out if you have ideas about reopening. At this point, my personal feeling, and again, I haven't talked to the board about it, is that the staff is very uneasy about reopening the building, and the public hasn't really been asking for it. They're mostly happy with what we're doing. And so I don't see any real reason to rush it because of those two things. But again, that's decision is the board's to make. So that's where we are.
Okay, I'd like in this stick minute, you have to keep Meredith with her story time,
Oh.
no matter what opens up, because it has been wonderful with my grandchildren. They tune in and really enjoy it.
You know, there's
So
something, it's really comforting to be able to go on and see. I don't know if it's for the kids, but I find it really comforting to be able to log on and watch Meredith do story time.
I sit through it, that's for sure.
Yeah. She actually can't continue because when the stay-at-home orders first started coming out, the publishers were being very generous about granting permission.
Oh, right.
Those permissions
right.
are starting to go away. So she's going to change it to doing it, I think, once a week instead of every day.
Yeah.
But she'll still do
Well,
it.
thank her.
I will.
Okay.
Well, and that just really, I mean, first of all, congratulations, Lycan, on getting that funding. That is just really, really fantastic. And I think through all of this, as challenging as it's all been, the opportunities that are going to arise as a result, trying to take a positive spin to this will be very, very interesting to see, you know, how things continue to, we all change and adapt to living with pandemics because they're not going to go away. So then just looking down through, we did I worked together with the Julies and Karen and Gloria to secure some additional PPE face shields in particular for the supervisors of the checklist for their meeting on June 2nd. I just got a call from the folks down at the COVID warehouse, and those supplies are actually being dropped off at Tamworth DMV tomorrow. So unless anyone else is going down there, I actually am going to head down there and I'll grab that and we'll coordinate getting that dropped off at the town offices. So they'll be all set. So that's great. And then just the last thing, just wanted to propose sort of the final staffing needs that we needed to do to basically fulfill what Tom was doing prior to passing. And so, you know, you all approved my appointment as, you know, emergency management director, but since Tom had held both emergency management director and health officer roles, proposed Kevin Bennett stepping up as health officer. He was a deputy health officer, and he and I, again, work really closely. You know, it works very well with his building inspector role to be more sort of that frontline person. I'm going to be connecting with some folks from the public health network, and some of the other responsibilities are listed in the emergency operations plan. So we're going to make sure that those responsibilities are all taken care of. And then we're proposing Deirdre Braun, she's a member of the fire department, also in Jackson Bartlett Ambulance, to assume the role of deputy EMD. So she's got a good connection, can work with me for bringing different trainings and things, serve as Tom and I had worked before. So, and then how we propose splitting up the stipend, which I don't know if you all have to think about that a little bit, but that's.
How did you come up with the amounts?
So those amounts were purely, and this is, we went back and forth on it. That was the amount that was listed in the town budget for this year, the stipend, $2,841. That does not include the expenses. There's a line item for $2,500 for expenses. no idea how that could conceivably be spent at this point. I don't believe we've spent anything yet. The Julies might be able to correct me if I'm wrong. But $500 for the deputy EMD, that was what Tom had agreed to have part of that come out of his budget to fund the deputy EMD and some of the work that I was doing. And then Kevin and I spoke today, just trying to sort of get a sense of how we're going to split up these responsibilities. And so we thought, well, let's just split the remaining funds in half. And again, we're really trying to just keep track of our time that we're spending with the things specific to the pandemic, attending these different calls. You know, they've gotten to be much shorter in recent weeks. Who knows what's going to happen? But Julie just recommended that just keep track of your time, and then looking at public assistance funding through FEMA, other possible funding avenues. Everyone's just sort of tracking and trying to get a sense of, is it really, you know, are we really going over what we think is you know, required of the job? I mean, I think for the most part, in my mind, emergency management, you're preparing, you're maybe not doing a whole lot until you're really doing a whole lot. And so the ebb and flow of the job itself, I'm prepared to, you know, put in the time now. Wasn't doing a lot too much earlier. So we're just gonna kind of see how it goes. I mean, I think a lot of folks, I spoke with Heidi Lawton, our local liaison, to try to get a sense of what other towns come up with. I mean, this is a stipend that I'm not exactly sure how it was initially calculated, but it does certainly cover the time, you know, when you're looking at different grant opportunities that are out there, bringing trainings to the town, going, you know, Kevin does a fair amount of webinars. I participate in different webinars that are recommended to just keep us up to date on what's going on. So yeah, so that's about it. Unless there are other questions. Does that answer your question, Barbara? Or
Yeah, I just, I'd love to see some of the time, you know, the time that you've put in just in the last month, because I know it's been substantial. And then Kevin, I guess I want to know from you how it would affect your hours and job right now, because you're pretty well full-time with the town anyway.
I think we're going to have to go over the finances over the next couple of weeks before we solidify these. I mean, the nominations are fine, but I think we have to figure out the money and, you know, just get it all lined up so we have a nice, smooth transition.
Sure, that's what I sort of figured. I'd be happy to, you know, I put together the time invoice to Julie, just as we were trying to figure out whether some of this would qualify for the public assistance through FEMA. And then, and I, you know, I'll continue to do, I'll send that along to you as well as wrapping up May, the month of May, and give you a sense of what I've been doing.
That sounds good.
So that's it for me, unless there's anything else that people have questions on.
Just a big thank you to Emily and everybody else, Kevin,
Yeah.
like everybody
Or unless
stepping
anyone
up.
wants
I mean,
to go
that's
to
just
Tamworth tomorrow, otherwise.
right. But thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you as well. All right, so that answered my question. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I think if we're set, I'm going to move on to an update of the chamber events, particularly the 4th of July fireworks, which actually are coming right up, folks. They were scheduled for the 28th of June. I guess that was either when the Atlas Fireworks could provide for us, or they were working around Conways and other towns, if that was just a good date. I'm afraid we can't make that commitment just yet, because I have no idea of what we're going to be allowed to do. Probably we're going to get to gatherings of 50 people, but certainly if we have fireworks in Jackson, we're going to have more than 50 people.
Mhm.
So, it's just, I can't imagine how we do it safely. That's a lot of people, and we're already getting, there's some, excuse me, some people that will be using any opportunity as a protest, and will come in without masks, and they'll come in large groups, or, anything could be going on. So I don't know that at this time we can say, it's safe for, a couple thousand people to come together in our town. But that's my initial reaction at the moment, and I think we just have to keep our ears open as to what's going on.
Dick, this is Barb. Also, Jay had mentioned that he could give any updates based on some conversation. So I don't know if he wanted to add anything or not. Jay?
Yeah. How's everybody doing?
Great.
Latest update, even since I talked to Dick earlier, on our permit, June 12th is a deadline on the permit for it to be on my desk for review. That's the minimum, and then it goes from me to the state, along with the selectmen or the PD signing it. But that date is a deadline on the permit, which isn't that far away.
Right.
On Friday, I talked to the state EOC and asked some questions of what they've run into on fireworks from towns, and they said it's been a mishmash of everything. They agreed with me on, fireworks in a small town where it's tight, not room for people to, separate themselves, that it's definitely would be considered a gathering of 50 or more, which right now is still, not allowed. So if a permit came to me in the next week, I'd probably not be able to sign it. The other issue is I'm not sure what kind of manpower I'm going to have from my guys, who's going to be willing to be involved in coverage. I'm going to find that out tonight. I know last year the numbers for firefighter involvement was down. Seems to be going, having less people available to be here. My guess is the gatherings of 50 or more will probably still be outlawed for the rest of the month into June, all the way through June, but we'll see. Guess that's what I got so far.
Thanks.
So it sounds like we really have to do some homework between now and our June 9th meeting to see if we can sort this all out and pay attention. I think the governor is going to make a statement Friday, because that's when the stay-at-home order expires. So I think we'll know some more this Friday, but obviously we're just going to have to pay attention and see what shakes out.
I think so.
Yeah, Jay and I had talked a couple of times about that. It just doesn't seem feasible to be able to keep people, social distancing in that tight of area,
Right. Agreed.
Yeah, and this is Emily. I'll just agree with you all. I mean, we're still at, gatherings of 50 or less, maybe even 10 or less. There's absolutely no way that we could do it safely, I don't think.
Dick, I received an email. Darlene Ferentz introduced herself at the beginning of the meeting, and she's on the meeting right now. And she had sent an email that I'd like to just read and maybe we could answer her question. Is that all right?
Sure.
Okay. So Darlene, and I will take you off mute in a second as well. Darlene is the president of the Mount Washington Valley Kiwanis, participated in the Jackson School Board meeting, and she's a library trustee in Jackson as well. And it's her understanding that when a vote is taken and you are by audio, even with video, there is to be a roll call. So that's paragraph number 1. And Darlene, that's why I take the numbers of the callers so I can sort of do an attendance. So it may be different than a roll call, but I do mark down who is attending the audio meetings. And then the second paragraph of Darlene's email says, we have been doing this, and last week the Jackson School Board did it that way. Also, the Selectmen doesn't ask if someone is opposed or if someone abstains. So can you see us? And there is no video on our Zoom. We chose not to use video, but I don't know if you want to address that as well, Dick.
Well, for each vote that we've taken today, I've asked for the vote, and if it was unanimous, I stated that it was unanimous. I think that, negative votes or abstentions are, superfluous to that vote. But, I'm not trying to do anything shady here. If it is a unanimous vote, I don't believe we have to have a roll call. But if we do, I apologize, and we'll do it by a roll call vote, and I can just ask how each of the other 2 members feel about it, and whether they abstain from that vote or are going to vote negative or for it. So anyway,
It was just, my question was, how were you able to know? Because there's just voices and, I guess you got one female and one male, so you're able to distinguish. It was more curiosity on my point.
Well, there's 3 of us.
How to do it. Right.
And I hear John and I hear Barbara, and then I vote. And then I state it was unanimous. Now, if there was somebody opposed to that, they would speak up right then.
Okay. Yep. I understand, except that it's been drilled into me, both at Kiwanis and through library trustee. Janice has been very adamant that we have to do it by roll call. And then Mr. Richard did the Board of Ed. So I just, it was more curiosity than anything else. It's just been drilled into me that procedurally we had to do that every single time. So that's basically my question. But thank you for answering that. And three on the board, that's not too bad. You can tell the difference in the voices. So thank you for answering.
Yeah, the school board is how many members?
The school board, they had 4 or 5.
Yeah, so it makes it a little more difficult. That's certainly understandable since there's only 3 of us.
Right.
My voice is definitely not as low as John's.
That was the confusion on my part. If you can't see, how do you know that was? And I wasn't sure. It is not following straight Robert's rules the way we were told that we had to do it at the library and the way the school board did it. And so that was just my question. What was the process? My first audio meeting with the selectmen, so I'm not trying to cause a problem. I'm just merely as a citizen asking why it's done the way it was done. I did that by email. I didn't expect it to be a conversation in the meeting today.
Oh, no, we're glad to always answer questions too, because it
It makes it clear for you. That's all important.
Yeah.
I will be much more, able, to get to your meetings. They often conflict with a library meeting. We meet at the same time once a month, so I've been unable on occasion to attend. But Thank you very much. I'll mute myself again.
Thank you.
All right, after that, does anybody feel we need to re-vote on our agenda today? And state who is voting which way, or are we happy enough with the votes and consider them unanimous, and that would be the three of us agreeing?
I'm comfortable with with the way we've been doing it. I think it, like you said, our voices are distinguished and there are three of us.
No,
And I
Right.
think that anybody, could speak up if they want to abstain and vote negatively. I think most of the time, these are pretty non-combative things, proving people for committees and signing, checks and making withdrawals from trust funds. It usually isn't much of controversy in those items. But,
Right.
again, if we can do a roll call, without a doubt, it's not a big deal to me.
all right, well, I feel, I did check on that, and I was told that if it was a unanimous vote, we didn't have to do a roll call. If it's anybody to vote for the negative or abstain, then it would be a roll call vote.
I'm good with that.
Okay. I think it's worked so far. I don't think anybody's been left out of the dialogue.
Nope.
Okay, so then I'm going to move ahead. That was Chamber of Fireworks. Now, building permits, we have 7. Kevin Bennett has to go to his, he's taking an EMT class online, which I commend him for. So we have 7 building permits, which I'll read through quickly. Let's see, we have one at R12 Lot 58, Carmond, 42 Pine Brook Road, electrical permit for a hot tub installation. We have another permit at R17, Lot 31A. Eastfield Road is to replace a deck. V10, Lot 209. Vista Way, Phase 4 of a house remodel. Exterior, roof, windows, doors, baseboard in the living room. The fourth one is V6, Lot 12, Dundee Road is a permit renewal for a single-family home being constructed. V9, Lot 13, Main Street, replace the furnace and hot water heater. I think it's an oil burner furnace and hot water. Let's see, then we have V10, Lot 1A, Mather Way, excuse me, is electrical permit. And the 7th one is V3, Lot 30, Cameron Drive. I'm not sure, I don't have a specific, I think that's a new house. Yep. So those are the building permits. We don't have to take a vote on them. They're approved by the building inspector. This is all for our information only. We have a intent to cut R8, Lot 30A, Howard. I think we'll all get a chance to sign on to that, read the specifics. We have a cemetery lot agreement for the Dundee Cemetery from Amanda Drew Bell in consideration of $300 paid by the purchaser, Amanda Drew Bell, of the lot of record of the town and now standing in the name of Drew Bell, said lot being 5, 7, and 206 on the map of the Dundee Cemetery. And the town of Jackson agrees to keep in suitable good repair and preservation the monument, shrubbery, grass, and soil thereon. Any surplus interest or income shall be permitted to accumulate until such time as said cemetery trustees shall deem expedient or in their discretion to apply the same surplus or any part thereof from time to time to ornamenting and preserving the grounds of said cemetery and for general cemetery maintenance. There it is. That's the agreement, and I think we can sign on that. I don't mean to take up your time reading that, but I think it's good to get it into the record at least one time. And if anybody ever had to go online, there are a full set of regulations for the Jackson cemeteries online. Okay, then, those questions are answered? Good. New Hampshire Electric Co-op and Vegetation Control. They're going to spray, they would like to spray a defoliant on the power line cuts, an herbicide. They're supposed to hang notices on all abutting house doors. And there is a number, let's see, Mike Couture, from 8 to 4, Monday through Friday at 325-3227. And he will answer questions. There is a number for Joel Cook, 536. Anyway, that's a false number. Do not call him. He has nothing to do in this district. All right. What do you think? I'm trying to think. I don't have anything else on the agenda. I went over the antivirus for the computers, town computers. My suggestion is that we look at that. I think I favor it for 1 year. If it works out for us for the 1 year, I think that next March we could raise the money and it would be economically advantageous to do a 2 or 3 year purchase. But I would not do that at this time myself, but I would like you others to consider that.
I looked at it the same as you. I think a 1 year deal is the best right now until we do use the software, but it also, I am familiar with the software and it is one of the more popular and successful antivirus softwares that are out there right now. So I think that is a valid choice.
Julie Atwell, are you on a speaker?
Hold on a second. Sorry. Okay, Julie.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Julie, I was just wondering, how many computers are we covering for the town?
I think we have about 20, and I think it was 20, but the fire department, I believe, is going to do it on their own. So I don't know if we still have to go with I think there's a range, and 20, it might be like 12 and then 24. So we might have to go with the 24.
Okay, I'm just curious. Anyway, we're on a 30-day trial run, and I think at our next meeting, we can decide how we're gonna go with that. I'll check and see how many computers are actually, in need of being covered. How's that sound?
Right.
Very good.
Okay. I think, boy, there's a lot of stuff we did. I think that, and just, again, as a heads up, we're gonna have to replace one of the radio towers up on Tyrol that's used on the emergency bands. So that's a 50-50 split, I believe, with Bartlett. So as it comes up, I think we'll probably be ready to act on it, and it will take Bartlett a little time to figure it out. But I think that Jay will keep us posted on how that's progressing.
Do we know what the
just wanted-
cost is?
I thought it was $3,000 split in half, so our part of it would be $1,500.
Okay.
But I would like to look at the proposal first, so that's just really off the top of my head.
I just have one question. There's someone that's on the call today that I didn't identify that's calling from an Connecticut number ending in 7660.
Darlene Ference.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Then there's also someone with a 617 number ending in 9268. Would you let me know who you are? Hello? I guess they don't want to identify themselves.
I was muted myself. Hi, it's James Gleason.
Oh, hi, James. Okay, thank you. Didn't
So
recognize.
near and so far away.
All right. Thank you. Sorry to interrupt, Dick.
All right, well, we've gotten through the agenda. Other than that, I don't know of anything else to bring up at this time. Anybody have anything?
I don't.
I do not.
Well, let's get out into the fresh air.
6 feet away.
All right, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
And I will second that.
All of us who are in favor, say aye.
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 That was a
Thank you very much.
unanimous vote.
Okay.
All right.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank I think that
Thank
was
you, Dick.
another meeting went really well.
Yep. Have a good evening, everyone.
Okay,
All right,
stay
later.
healthy.
Hey.
Bye.